Good morning, afternoon, and evening. I'm Rafael Renteria, founder and co-owner of DartFrog. We do 3D virtual tours and 360 media. So I hope we're all doing well. On this fine day, I have some interesting news on GeoCV that is causing some controversy, but lucky for us, the CEO and others have chimed in to let us know what's really going on. I also want to say that there's not a ton of visuals for this video, so you can go ahead and put this on in the background and do other stuff on your computer or whatever. And I think I'm also going to make this my first podcast episode, so we'll see what happens. So welcome to another installment of The Aspect. Let's get to it and cue the music. So on October 1st, an official announcement was put out by Occipital that the majority of GeoCV's team had joined Occipital to launch an R&D department in Moscow. For those of you who don't know, GeoCV is a 3D computer vision company that mainly focuses on creating really impressive 3D models for real estate and does so with smartphone technology and artificial intelligence. Occipital is a spatial computing company that focuses on bringing top-of-the-line reality capture at an affordable price without sacrificing capability or quality. If you want a better idea of what they do and the applications for their technology, you should watch their video announcing Structure Core. It's super impressive and really makes you rethink about what's going to be possible in the coming years. I'll put a link to that in the description. So until now, Occipital's relationship with GeoCV has been that they provided their 3D sensor that's attached to the device that works with GeoCV's program to make their models. Even though GeoCV's developers are being acquired, the recent announcement clarifies that Occipital will not be acquiring the virtual open house product from GeoCV. The Occipital R&D office in Moscow will be focused on accelerating existing Occipital product lines. So a misconception that some people might have is that this is Occipital acquiring GeoCV, but that's not the case. That's not what this is. The term that best describes what this move is an acqui-hire. It's not a true acquisition because GeoCV still exists on its own. It still has its own IP and its flagship product, but the developers there are no longer working for GeoCV. Now, people, including myself, have a lot of questions, but before I get to my own, I want to go over some questions that were posted on the We Get Around Network forum and were answered by CEO of GeoCV, Anton Yakubenko. Regarding the virtual open house product by GeoCV, will it be shut down? Short answer, no, it's still there. Can we keep scanning and processing new spaces? Yes, the process will be automated like most of them are, and you just won't be able to call tech support. But this isn't necessarily a huge problem because the GeoCV editor lets you do a lot, and so far I've been able to fix any issues that I have with my models a-okay with just using the editor. Will the product evolve is another question. Anton replied that there are no such plans at the moment for obvious reasons. They had a long roadmap for the improvement of the virtual open house, but it makes sense that they can't do that without the developers right now. But if you ask me, and Anton kind of says this, the advancements that they've made to date is innovation that could last a while. As in, they've bought themselves some time so that they won't be behind in innovation even with this break for however long it lasts. If you ask me what would be possible with virtual tours a year ago, I couldn't picture what GeoCV has accomplished. Honestly, I mean, I've said this before, I didn't even know what 3D tours were until about 2 years ago. Another question people had was, can you still do virtual staging? It's not going to be as awesome as the model that you can toggle the modes like in the model that was included in their Box Brownie partnership announcement, but it's still pretty impressive. You can permanently stage a separate model, so I would copy the model and then have one virtually staged, but it's only going to show up in the 360 walkthrough mode and not the 3D dollhouse mode. In my eyes, I think because of the kind of stuff that we've seen from GeoCV so far and so quickly, that we've kind of lost perspective. We've already adapted so quickly to perceiving the really cool and groundbreaking stuff as normal. To address other concerns that the people in the forum expressed, can I sell my camera to someone else? If you want to sell the camera, GeoCV may be able to help you get rid of it because there are people on the waiting list who would be glad to take it off your hands. Is the company shutting down? No. Existing customers will still get the software as a service, but no more cameras are being made for now. And the official end to human support ends on October 8th, 2019. Now, there are some concerns that existing providers have to prepare for the worst And luckily, GeoCV has already given us sufficient tools to prepare any sort of doomsday. I'll mention those things in this video, but I will definitely have to go in depth with those in a different video just for the sake of the consistency of this episode. One of the bigger questions, is it because of the Matterport lawsuit? So Anton says this: joining and getting acquired by a larger company is a typical path for venture-backed startups. So this Acqui-hire isn't necessarily abnormal. Now, the Matterport case may have accelerated this, but it didn't throw GeoCV off the rails to places where it's not supposed to go. Now, what may have happened is that Occipital may have had plans to acquire GeoCV fully, but maybe didn't want any part in the lawsuit, so they just took what they needed. That's 100% speculation. I haven't spoken to anyone at Occipital about it, so take that with a grain of salt. But keeping that scenario in mind, that suggests that something really interesting could happen. So there are a lot of companies that could benefit from acquiring GeoCV, and companies have been keeping an eye on them. The Matterport lawsuit could have been a monkey wrench that deterred smaller companies or companies that don't have a ton of money to fight it from acquiring GeoCV. But there are other huge conglomerates that could say, you know what, we have the will and we have the resources to take on Matterport, so we'll take GeoCV anyway. And to transition into my next point, I'm going to open with a question that I got from the other day from someone that DM'd me, a gentleman from Argentina. He asked if I, as a current GeoCV provider, were to quit the system, will the previous projects still be published or will they disappear, leaving the customers that paid for a virtual tour from you without their tour anymore? So if I were to quit, no. The tours would still be hosted and running. I just wouldn't be able to get into the editor or upload any new spaces or fix something for them. But if for some reason GeoCV just tore everything down and stopped hosting the tours, yes. But you can prevent that from happening if you self-host and have all the data downloaded to something that you have complete control over, which I will briefly go over in this video and then more in depth in another, like I said earlier. So this brings us to my next topic. What do you do if you're creating GeoCV tours already, and what does this mean for you? So for us, it means that we can still shoot our virtual tours and have them automatically processed, and they can still be hosted by GeoCV. But it may be a good idea to prepare for a day where GeoCV doesn't host them. And so how do we do that? We download the offline model and self-host, or at least be prepared to self-host in the event that that becomes our only option. I wanted to keep this video mostly about the Occipital Acqui-hire, so I'm going to show how exactly to do this in another video. And GeoCV also has a lot of great tutorials, but if you want to make it easy on yourself and see a video, I'll try to cook something up. So just to recap on the situation, Occipital's Acqui-hire of GeoCV's developers is not the end of GeoCV. I think this is just one small part of the big picture of GeoCV and where this will end up. There are a lot of ways that the next few years could go. Only time will tell, but I will keep you updated as things develop. And that's all I got for today. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can put it below in the comments, or you know where to reach me to have a one-on-one. All that's in the description. This has been Rafael Renteria for The Aspect. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.